one, Monday we talked a lot about just kind of preparing yourself for being calm and peaceful for the holiday. And today we're going to do some restoratives. We're going to do a very gentle practice, things that are very nourishing for your well-being, for your nervous system. But let's start with a practice in gratitude. So close your eyes for a moment and find a comfortable seat, maybe lying down, maybe standing, maybe sitting, just whatever is comfortable for you. And I'm going to mute everybody here. There we go. It's pretty fun when you can hear like dog toys in the background. Okay, so let's just drop in here. Feel a sense of weight come down into the pelvis. Ground yourself. And then feel into the deep length and reach of your spine. See if you can prevent yourself from having a push-pull feeling in the body. Just allow expansiveness, openness to be the feeling that you're cultivating. Soften through your eyes, soften through your jaw. All the little ways that you start to calm and soothe the physical body, and let the ease that comes from the relaxation and the breath help you to soothe the mind. As we all know, when we open ourselves to gratitude, magic happens. Okay, so let's start with just a simple practice of our senses. So take your hands and place them over your eyes. And just have some gratitude for your vision. Rest your eyes in your warm palms and all the beautiful things that you see, the things in nature that you see, the people that you love that you can see, the ease of moving through your day, driving around, chopping vegetables, all the things that are so easy because you can see. Deep gratitude for your vision. Let's move our hands over to our ears. Just cover your ears for a moment. And maybe my voice is really muffled now, but deep gratitude for what you hear, for the sense of hearing music, the sound of rain and wind, the sound of laughter of the people you love, the capacity to move easily through your day because you can hear. And then release and place your hands over your face, so over your nose and over your mouth. And just have a moment, let that go. Open your palms up. Take a deep, full breath through your nose. Have some deep gratitude for not only the functional nature of your nose, being able to breathe well. So feel the breath and appreciate a clear, open nose. But also the ability to smell. The smell of things cooking that you love, the smell of, once again, rain. I love the smell and sound of rain, so that's where my mind goes. But whatever you love to smell, the fall leaves, the spring flowers. And same, relax your tongue inside your mouth. See if you can feel your entire tongue all the way to the root. Let go of some tension. And deep gratitude for all that we can taste. Your favorite tastes. So conjure up your favorite things to eat. and the contrasts of taste, sweetness and sour, and bitter and salty. And now take your fingertips, just your finger pads, and go right across your face, down your face, and then take your fingertips down your arms. Find bare skin. So if you have long sleeves on, do this someplace in your body that you have bare skin, maybe the back of your neck or the front of your neck, and just feel the sense of skin, touch. So not only the ability to touch, but the ability to be touched. And place your hands over your heart. Feel the warmth of your touch. And these are just simple gratitudes of the ways we perceive the world, the way we connect with the world through our senses. So as we place the hands together now, offer any intentions around gratitude that you have right now. Is there something specific that you're very grateful for? Remember that gratitude begets more gratitude, that it becomes, like riding your bike downhill, just picks up speed. There's more and more. All right, let's release the hands and come onto our back. So as you start to practice, being that today is going to be a gentle, gentle class, take time to really observe the gratitude in your body. It's so easy for us to focus on what is not working well in our bodies, what we don't like about our bodies, instead of realizing that it's this incredible gift. It's our most precious thing we have is our health and a functional body, functional mind. So let's bring our feet down onto the floor. Rest your hands on your forehead for a moment. And last appreciation we'll have here before we start moving is to just have deep gratitude for the working of your mind, your mental health, your cognitive health. All right, and then let's stretch and lengthen. Reach the body out, reach the right side, reach the left side. Enjoy, open up your limbs and just enjoy the feeling of your body awakening. And then bring your knees into your chest and rock a little bit, swaying from side to side. Let's open the knees away from each other and bring them back in toward each other, just back and forth, kind of having some little circles or semicircles, just feeling the hips open a little bit. And then the right knee into the chest, the left leg comes long on the floor. Feel a good squeeze in your hip and move your feet around. Roll your ankles, get your feet to wake up. And then change sides. Left knee into the chest, right leg comes onto the floor, and feel yourself spin a few circles with your ankles and toes and feet. Good compression, draw that knee in, give it a good squeeze. And then release that limb out and starfish your body. So limbs come wide, wiggle your fingers and toes out there on the edges, knees into the chest, give yourself a hug. One more time, open back up. Exhale, draw the knees in. One more time. Feel that sense of expansion. Exhale, draw it in. Relax your head back down onto the ground. Simple moving of the hips. So feet are down and just rock the hips left and right. Feel how nice and easy your body can move. Hopefully you're comfortable. And drop knees left. Reach the right arm. Be so thankful for the sensation of stretch. Everybody, I think you are drawn to yoga because you probably like the feeling of stretching. Reach your right knees or knees over to the right and left arm comes out. So let's enjoy the beautiful sensation and the body awareness that it helps cultivate within us. Cross your right thigh over your left thigh and just draw the knees into the chest. Feel the spine get long. Rest the back of the head on the floor and find your breathing. Okay, we're going to open the legs, take them out to a little letter V, okay, and then switch sides, left thigh over right thigh, and draw the knees into the chest. Long spine, widen the sit bones, feel the low back have a little gap under the floor or on the floor. And then unwind that starfish again. Deep breath. Exhale, head up, knees in. Put your head back down onto the ground. Grab your strap. Okay. So we're going to take a strap. This is such a crazy long strap that I have. The right foot is going to come up into the strap. The left leg is going to either be with your foot flat on the ground or with your legs straight on the ground. So you decide for Supta Padangusthasana how you want your body to be. So where do you want that left leg? Move your right femur bone away from the shoulder. Soften your right knee. Spread out the bones of your right foot. Lift it up toward the sky and root the femur bone down toward the earth. Have enough gap on your strap where your shoulders are not, you're not lifting up off the ground. There's some nice ease. The back of the head is melting toward the floor. You can flex and point your toe while you're here if you want to. Just coming into the sensation of awakening your calf, your shin. All right, so as we are ready, we're going to open up the inner hamstrings a little bit more now. So hand strap is held in the right hand and open that leg out to the right. Your left leg, your foot can be on the floor, your leg can be on the floor. If your foot is on the floor, you can let your left knee fall out to the left. So find the pathway that feels best. So we're easy and gentle right now. So feel your body rest onto the floor. Is the back of your head soft? Can you feel some weight? Can you come into the feeling of really beautiful breaths? Nice long exhales, present with the sensations of the breath and of the body. All right, and then lift that leg straight up in the air. Take the strap into the left hand and let's cross the right leg over to the left. You can open up your right arm out to the side. You can keep your right hand in your hip crease, whatever feels perfect for your body. Stretch into your foot in the air. Press through the big toe and the inner heel. Feel the deep length of your spine. And experiment with different distances away from the floor. Sometimes, a deep spinal twist feels really nice. Sometimes dropping the hip, going less deep and dropping the hip down toward the earth can feel really nice. So just experience what you want. And then we're going to lift that leg up in the air. So half happy baby pose. Grab onto the right foot or just pull the strap so that your knee bends toward the outside edge of your rib cage. Stretch the left leg, long spine. And then lift that leg up in the air. Join with the other. So 2 feet in the strap. Reach your feet up. Drop your hips down. Feel that sense of going in both directions simultaneously. Shoulders away from the ears. And then put your right foot on the floor or your right leg on the floor, whichever feels best to you. Stretch into the posture. So try not to push your knee back. So especially if you tend to be hypermobile, have a little, softness behind the left knee. Relax the spine. Let the back of your head rest on the floor. Notice your breathing. Soften your shoulders. Lift up through the foot, root down through the hip. Feel the sense of expansive space in your body. Maybe you want to flex and point your toe while you're here. All right, and then open up the left leg out to the left. So remember, your right leg can be in a few different positions. Your right leg can be down on the ground. right foot on the floor. And if your right foot's on the floor, you can either have your knee straight up or open it out to the side. So you choose the pathway that's right. Lengthen through the inner thigh of that left leg. Feel the spine tail connection. Try not to list over to the left. Ground yourself. How's the breath now? Sometimes it's very nice to just spend a fair amount of time holding some deep stretches instead of, a more dynamic practice of moving. So remember that yoga has something for every moment. It has something for every stage of our lives, every pathway of what we're dealing with emotionally. There's always things that yoga can support us with. There's such a huge toolbox to reach into. Reach that left leg straight up in the air now. Take the strap into the right hand, cross the left leg over to the right. So decide, you can play around with how deep into this posture you want to go. So maybe, today you feel like doing really deep spinal twists. Maybe today you want more of a hip stretch. So just find what feels good, experiment, play inside your body, enjoy what you're feeling. Lift that left leg all the way back up, 2 feet into the strap again. Oh wait, sorry, half happy baby pose. So grab onto the left foot, feel a deep compression of the left knee, stretch your right leg so the heel can lengthen out, reach the crown, find that deep compression. And now when you're ready, 2 feet into the strap, lift both legs straight up, opening up the hamstrings. Feel the anterior tilt of the pelvis, so a little gap under your low back. Root the femur bones down, rise up through your feet, feel the length of your crown. Notice the breath. All right, and then bring 2 knees toward the chest. Go ahead and release the strap. Go ahead and take it out off to the side. Roll over onto your side and come up onto your hands and your knees. All right, so let's start moving through some cat-cows. Arching and rounding the spine. Taking a pathway through the body that feels good. How's the breath interacting with your movements? And then find your way back to child's pose. Deep compression, feel the knees and the hips. Walk the hands to wherever is comfortable for you. Maybe you want to rock a little bit from one side to the other. Relax the base of the skull. Walk the hands over to the right side of the mat and open up the left side body. Relax your neck. Take advantage of all this space and breathe into the space. Let's walk the hands over to the other side. Drop some weight into the sit bones. Relax the base of the skull. And then come back to center. Come up onto all fours again. Move the spine any way you want to move the spine. So maybe you want to wag your tail or circle through your hips or your shoulders. Just find movement that feels good in the body. All right, and curl your toes under. Stretch back towards child's pose with your feet curled under. Let the bottom of the feet wake up and open up. All right, and then find your way into dog pose. So, dog pose a day keeps the doctor away. So let's just come into this state of grace of this posture. Find your yielding. Release into the earth and rebound through the body as you reach from your hands and your feet up to the pelvis. Heart toward hips. Relax your neck. Feel free to move your feet around, your hips around, whatever's going to help you kind of be in the body. All right, and then walk your feet forward and come into Uttanasana Fold. Relax your hips. Sway a little bit if you want. Roll around in your shoulders. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale and melt back down. Drop your hips low, rise up, bring your arms to the sky. Rising upward, lean back if it feels good. Give your heart to the day. Cactus, open your arms, squeeze the shoulder blades a little bit if you want, and then bring your forearms back to touch, palms to your heart. Feel your Uttanasana. Take your feet in a comfortable, good position. Ground yourself. Okay. Release the arms. Shake out your hands. Find your breath. All right, and then inhale. Come on up to open your heart again. Big circle with your shoulders and fold forward. Halfway lift, sit bones lift high. Maybe hands come on blocks if that's comfortable for your body. Otherwise, you can hold your legs. All right, so hang out here for a moment. Lift your sit bones. Feel the grounding of your feet. The four corners of each foot rooting, arches lifting. Let your thigh bones move back, but your shin bones a little forward. And exhale and melt and fold. Let's step your left foot back. The right foot is coming forward into a lunge. Okay, let's open up the hip flexors a little bit. Start to bend and straighten the leg. Hopefully the poses we've already done, we've kind of warmed up the hamstrings. And then if it's comfortable, place your knee down onto the ground. This will be the extent of our standing poses today. So reach the arms up, spread your wings, place your hands wherever you want them to be. Hug your front heel and back knee toward each other. You can always come off your knee if your knee does not like to be on the ground. Okay, and then we're going to turn this into a twist. So right hand on your thigh, reach that arm up. You can place the elbow to the outer knee, the forearm on your knee, whatever feels good. Use your other hand to keep the lift of the spine. Twist open, come into the deep stretch of your hip flexor of the back leg. Hug the front heel and back knee toward each other. Feel the openness of the spine and broaden across the collarbones. All right, relax and bring the hands back down onto the ground. Child's pose. Take your hips back. Notice, let the left hip kind of rebound into softness after that deep stretch. All right, then we're going to come on up again. Bring your other foot forward, left foot forward, come into a lunge. Curl your back toes under, lift your knee off the floor, and start to bend and straighten the front knee to wherever is comfortable for your body. And then place that knee down onto the ground. You can have your back toes curled under or lying flat. What feels nice? Ground your legs. Root your front foot, your back knee, hug them toward each other. Find the midline. Once you're stable, rise up. If you're not happy being on your knee, you can always pad underneath it with more blankets, or you can come off your knee and do a regular crescent lunge. So find the pathway that works for your body. Same with your arms. Maybe you need your arms to be out or hands together instead of up. Find the pose for you today. Open into your heart. Reach into space if your arms are up. See if you can get that grounding of your legs and the openness of the upper body. Okay, we're going to twist here. So now our left hand comes under our thigh to help us keep the long spine. Reach the right arm over. Forearm can come onto the thigh, or you can bring your elbow to the outer knee if you want to twist deeper. Root into the front big toe mound. Find the midline. So hug the inner thighs toward the midline to help stabilize you. Collarbones spreading wide. Find your breath. Relax, come out of there, back to child's pose. Knees come together if that's comfortable. Just let your spine relax. You can take your arms. See how I've hit my hands up on blocks? Maybe this might feel good for you instead of the floor. Just do what feels nice. All right, we're going to slide forward into a Sphinx pose. So elbows are down onto the ground, open through your chest, collarbones stay broad, stretch into your feet, find the breathing. All right, let's melt to come back down. Find your way up to all fours, move your spine around, see what feels good, just release any tension that you had. Okay, we're going to sway the hips all the way over to the left as far as they're comfortable. And then we're going to sway the hips all the way over to the right as far as they are comfortable. All right, come into dog pose. Find the length of your body, breathing well. And then walk your feet forward, come into Uttanasana. Enjoy a half lift. Exhale. Melt back down, drop your hips, rise up through your spine. Take your feet, a little bit wider than your hips and, just where you feel comfortable. And we're just going to swing. So remember, if your spine's a little vulnerable, you can keep your arms very low and just kind of move very gently. And if you have more to add, you can swing your arms in a bigger arc or even up. Just letting the rib cage open. Take some really good breaths while you're here. Let your hips pivot with your shoulders. All right, one more time, arms come up. Big breath. Float back down. Grab a blanket. Find your breath. Okay, we're going to open up the blanket like this into an open fold. And then we're going to roll about half of it, okay? And you can do more or less depending on how you feel in your body, okay? So I'm going to do about half. I'm going to move my blocks out of the way, and I'm going to come lie down on the blanket. If you need more support underneath your head, grab another blanket or a block. And we're just going to do a little bit of self-massage. So we're going to start with this boulder, kind of under the top edge of our shoulder blades. And I just want you to kind of roll from side to side. This is a little different. It's similar to that rolled towel spinal hydration work that we do sometimes. So where we rock north and south, this is a little bit different. I want you to rock east and west. So feel free to move your arms in all sorts of planes. Feel free to roll all the way over onto one side and stretch your arm and get a little massage in your rib cage with that blanket. And we're slowly going to be lowering the bolster down our back. So don't be afraid to turn this into something on your side. Okay, so it doesn't just have to be in the back of your body. Let your full rib cage get a little bit of the love here. Make sure you're breathing well. Just put your arms any way that feels really good. We're just rocking from side to side. Hang out in places that you want to hang out in. All the while, we're kind of lowering the bolster as we go. Stay inside your breath. Let it be kind of very 360 massage for your rib cage. Feel free to pause in any spots that feel really delicious. Okay, this is just a little bit of exploration here. There's no rules, there's no right way to do this. When you get to the bottom ribs, still don't forget that you have a side body that could have a little work for this. All right, nice and gentle. Breathing deeply. When you get to your low back, hopefully your bolster's not very high. If it's high, don't go into your low back. You don't really want to hang out with something in your low back, but you can feel free to kind of roll onto your side and get a little massage in that deep low back muscle. And find your way. So we're just kind of inching. Find your way down toward your sacrum. And then when you start to feel this roll under your pelvis, start noticing. Remember your 360, so you can go over toward your hip, onto the side of your pelvis. Let your body just receive the little bit of self-massage that you're doing here. If you find a spot that's really good, feel free to roll and rock within it or on it. And notice how different this is than getting a foam roller out. Because it's kind of mushy and soft, there's a lot more capacity to yield and melt your muscles instead of resist the pressure. That's why we don't want the bolster to be too high or too hard. All right, and then once you get to the tip of your tail, you can even kind of go down your legs, straighten your legs, just so that make sure you get to the very bottom of your glutes. All right, and then you can come onto your back if you're down that far. If you're still, up in your shoulders, by all means, take as much time as you want for this. Such a simple way of just kind of coming into presence with your body in a very gentle way. So now we're going to find our way onto our back once you're ready and take a block and either put it on the low height or maybe you like the middle height. Maybe you're tall and you'd like to have two blocks, one stacked on top of the other like this, okay? So, if you want to go high, that's fine. Just make sure the block is under your sacrum, across your sacrum, that you're not in line with your spine, that you're perpendicular to your spine. So whatever height feels good, rest here for a moment. Put your arms in a comfortable place. Let's have some deep gratitude for our breath right now. Find the breath moving deeply in your body. All right. And as you're ready, we're going to get either two blankets or a bolster, whatever you have. So you need a couple blocks as well. So I have one blanket and then the other blanket, if you're using pillows, whatever you have, you just want a good bit of height underneath you. And then a block on either side of your blanket like this. Then we're going to lie down on our back. Our pelvis is up, just kind of like we just had in bridge pose, but we're on blankets now. Okay. And first, just bring the knees toward the chest. Just let a little traction happen. Reverse from the back bend. You can feel free to hold your feet too and come into a happy baby pose if you really want a deep stretch in your back. So whatever feels good. And then release your legs down. We're going to lift the hips up, bring them over to the right just a little bit, and then bring the knees back up, and we're going to drop the knees over to the left. And this block that we have on the side of our blankets is going to go underneath your left shin. All right, so open yourself up into this twist. We're inverting, so we have this beautiful capacity to drain our fluids back toward our heart. Let the compression of a little bit of a twisting be like an internal organ massage. Relax your neck and shoulders. All right, and then Find your way back onto your back. Rest there for a moment. Maybe bring your knees to the chest if your body needs that. And then we're going to put the feet down, lift the hips and scoot them over to the left, bring the knees up, and we're going to drop our knees over to the right. So have that block handy to rest your shins upon. Full breaths here. Pay attention to how you're breathing. Enjoy the twisting, the gentle twisting in your body. All right, and then bring your legs back up. Come back to neutral with the pelvis. One more time, bringing the knees into the chest. Grab onto the feet if you want. You can do a version of happy baby pose. You can keep your legs together. You can even just lift your legs up. We're all going to meet and leg up the wall without the wall just for a few breaths here. Feel the draining of fluids from gravity, help the assistance of gravity draining back toward your heart. Can you feel your feet get a little lighter? Let's go ahead and draw the knees toward the chest. Put your feet down, get that blanket out of there, roll over onto your side, and come into child's pose. Find your breath. Deep inhale, deep exhale. We're going to come into pigeon pose, and I want you to do it in a way that's really supported. So if you tend to kind of hang with your hip hanging in space, maybe try a little extra support today than you normally do so that the pose is really restful, that you feel like you can drop into the support of the floor and the props. So we're going to take our right leg forward. I have two blankets, which I don't usually use, but I'm doing that today, underneath my hip and across underneath my left thigh, or the left thigh. And then find your way. Now you're pretty high up, so you might need some good height of the blocks underneath you to have that sense of balance. All right, so square hips, come onto your elbows if that's comfortable for your body. Find a pathway for your ankle, your knee, and your hip that is safe and healthy. So you can try bringing your foot closer to your pubic bone and your knee a little closer to the midline instead of out to the right if your knee is or ankle is unhappy. So experiment with some different positions. Widen the sit bones, extend the spine. See if you can melt into the props. Now, always you can do reverse pigeon pose. So if this pose is unavailable to you, pigeon pose is not happening, that's totally fine. You can come down onto your back and come into reverse pigeon pose. Now remember, a nice restorative way of doing this posture is to have your foot on the wall or on a piece of furniture so you don't have to reach to grab. This is a restorative way of doing reverse pigeon pose. Breathe your way here. And then let's find our way out of that side and come into the next side. Okay. So left leg is forward. Support yourself with props as much as you want. If you're in reverse pigeon pose, maybe try putting your foot on a wall or on a piece of furniture. Adjust anything that needs adjusting. So play around with the angle of your front leg. Your knee can go out to the side more and your foot can pull away from your pubic bone, or you can bring your foot a little closer to your pubic bone. Find the pathway for the movement of your ankle and your knee that feels best to your body. Wide sit bones, long spine. Let your shoulders relax. Come inside the breath. So whatever height you put underneath you, it's your choice. Just make sure you feel supported. You don't have to be as high as what I suggested, but as long as you're not kind of hanging. The other thing is to keep your pelvis square. So try not to lean more into the left hip than the right thigh. Find the balance between weighting both. Every exhale, can you melt the neck and shoulders a little bit more? See how I'm supporting my forehead on the blocks? This can help you find that soothing nature. All right, we're going to come out of that pose. Now, come out and do whatever feels right. Do you want to do a dog pose? Do you want to do a child's pose? Do you want to lie on your back and bring your knees to your chest? What is going to kind of reverse that posture for you? All right, now, if you have a lot of yoga props, come into your favorite version of Supta Baddha Konasana. So I use a lot of props when I do this pose my favorite way. Okay, so I'm going to have a bolster on 2 blocks like that. And then I'm going to have a blanket, one for each arm. I'm going to have a pillow for my head. And I'm going to have 2 more soft bolsters for under my knees. So this is my favorite nest. Maybe you don't have all these props. The soles of the feet are together. The most important thing you're supporting here is your legs. So if you have no props other than one blanket, roll the blanket into a snake and wrap it over your feet and underneath your hips. So maybe you don't want all these things that I have, but sometimes having a really good nest is your best chance of having a lot of deep restoration. A lot of times our arms hang. That's why I'm putting blankets underneath my arms. Now for today, I'm feeling like I don't want that blanket or pillow under my head, so I'm going to get rid of it. You experiment, and some days don't feel as good as other days with the props that you normally choose. So if you get into the posture and you're like, that's not right, then make a different choice. See if you can let your limbs feel deeply restorative and deeply supported. The more props we offer ourselves, the more stress we can release. So if our limbs are dangling in any way, our nervous system has a much harder time relaxing. Once you're comfortable, start to notice your breath. Melt your body. Feel the openness across your throat, across your chest, across your belly, into your pelvic bowl, all the way to your pelvic floor. Some people like to have their arms out to the sides. Some people like their arms interlaced and over the head. See what feels good to your body. As you float a little deeper into rest, let's have some gratitude for the ease of our breath.
Find yourself drifting off. Come back home into the breath. And spend just a few more breaths here. All right, straighten your legs for a moment. And slowly start to come onto your side. Be very slow, bringing yourself upright. We have one more pose to do. So you can take one blanket or lots of blankets, and we're going to come to a wall. And we're going to roll over onto our side and lift our legs straight up a wall. If you don't have a wall, you can do this against a couch or a chair and put your calves up on a couch or a chair. You can have your arms in any position that supports you. Choose what kind of prop you want under your pelvis. Now, if you have the luxury of a wide wall space, you can open your legs wide. I'm going to hit my furniture, but you can open your legs wide. You can take the soles of your feet together. You can cross your legs. You can put your feet on the wall, or you can put your legs straight up the wall, or any combination thereof. We won't be here too long. Just a moment to once again drain all the fluids back toward your heart. Find the joy of an inversion. Let yourself be grounded. Bring yourself into some beautiful, beautiful breathing. Let the head melt on the floor. All right, and as we transition to Shavasana, you can stay there. If you love like up the wall pose, stay there. If you like your little ramp that you were in Supta Baddha Konasana in, you can do, like lounge chair Shavasana, where you come onto the ramp with your back and you take some blankets underneath your knees. Maybe you are in a normal Shavasana where you're just lying on your back. So all is well, no matter what choice you make, find something that just brings a lot of comfort and ease into your body. As you drop your weight, see what it feels like to have that sense of ease. If you have a way to keep you warm, by all means. If you're chilly, make sure you cover yourself. And as we soften into Shavasana, give deep thanks for your body. Give deep thanks. The way we are able to just move easily through our day because our bodies work. Let's just have deep gratitude. Deep gratitude for your mind. Deep gratitude for your community, the people you love, the people that love you.
Let's begin to deepen our breathing. Nice, slow, steady exhales. Find your way into some movement, maybe coming onto your side, finding your way up. As you come to a comfortable seat, bring your palms together at your heart. Let's offer the gift of our practice outward. Send your love to someone. Deep gratitude for this person. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.